and welcome to the Happy Healthy Women podcast and HHW TV. I'm your host, Natalie Colalilo, and I'm the founder and CEO of Happy Healthy Women. Today, we are talking one of my favorite topics, which is identity, the elevated identity of a woman who is achieving everything that she wants in her business. And we can dive into so many areas of this topic because it's really multifaceted. But today, what we're diving into is branding in our businesses as it relates to that elevated identity. So who are we becoming and how are we visible? How are we showing up in the world with our businesses, with the things that we do in order to attract the right people and opportunities to our businesses? So today I have the most amazing Sadaf Dyar, who is the lead designer and the founder of Sherry Designs. She helps ambitious female entrepreneurs step into the next level identity for themselves in their business through intentional branding, through content, through strategic web design. She is just amazing. And what I really love about Sadaf is that she focuses on the next level of you. Who are you becoming and how can we make that happen in your branding? How can we make that version of you that you are becoming visible here? And so in today's conversation, we talk about that specifically. We talk about how, some women may be moving and growing and moving to the next level for themselves, but their branding is reflecting the old version of them. And so Sadaf really talks about the best places to start with this and how to start to move to that next level and have what we show up as online and in our businesses really reflect that elevated identity. So we're going to talk about that today. I know you're going to love it. Stay tuned. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Happy Healthy Women podcast and HHW TV. I am so excited to have the amazing Sadaf Dyar here, and she is incredible at what she does. She's also one of our branch directors here in Happy Healthy Women. And so we are so privileged to have her because Sadaf really brings a wealth of knowledge to the table with, everything that she talks about in terms of identity and branding. So welcome, Sadaf. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you so much, Natalie, and thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here today. So a part of what I do is definitely doing branding and web design and also content creation for women who are in growth season and really in scaling season in their business, but their brand, it hasn't caught up yet, and also their content and website. So I help them really step into this next level identity in their business. And as Natalie said, I'm also a branch director for Happy Healthy Women in Vaughan.
Yes. So I love what Sadaf talks about. Her and I speak the same language. We were just talking about this because Sadaf truly understands the importance of our identity in business, who we are showing up as, who we are becoming. And, if you've been listening to Happy Healthy Women for a long time, or if you've been on our, the classes that we do and the coaching that I do, then you know that this is such a key piece of really like skyrocketing our businesses to success and also living the lives that we want to be living. Like it's all connected. And so today, and this is in many areas of our lives when we talk about identity, right? We talk about the way we see money. We can talk about the way we see health and wellness. We can talk about all the things. But today we're going to talk about the way that we're showing up in our branding and in who we are. So Sadaf, let's start with this because I know that you are around women who are growing all the time. This seems to be the trend, right? Which is not a bad thing. This is amazing. And so tell us what you see with women who are embracing personal growth and development and what that looks like in terms of what they've already put out there for their branding and their business.
Yeah, and this is so true. And I love that you always bring the identity piece into your work and your audience as well, because as humans, we are always evolving, we're always growing. We are always stepping into a higher level of identity in our personal lives and also in our business. And I think what I see with so many women is that their brands have kind of outgrown, and their content has outgrown, but so many of the times they don't notice it, right? And it usually shows in really small ways, like having unclear messaging and um, them wanting to attract premium high deal clients and not being able to do that because their brand doesn't speak that language and their messaging doesn't talk to that type of ideal client. So I come in here and then I help them to really recognize that they are growing and their brand should reflect that as well. And also their website. So we start with the branding side and then we move to the content and the website side. So yeah, this is kind of like bringing all of it together and really helping them not only to really embody that next level identity and embodying that in their brand, but also attracting their premium ideal clients because that's really the end goal, right?
Mm.
That when we grow in our businesses, we have this new set of clientele and ideal, dreamy ideal clients that we want to attract. So it's really there to embody that and attract that group of ideal clients.
Beautiful. I love that. And as you're sharing on that, I can definitely see how this in and of itself, like working with you, Sadaf, a is an exercise in growth and development alone, right? Like it is like just to have someone, first of all, like you, to bounce ideas off of and say, here's who I'm trying to attract. Here's who I have become. Here's who I am becoming, because we need to look at that too, right? Not just who we've become, but what's in our future. Who is it that we want to bring into our business to actually help it expand? And like just to have someone like you have that conversation with them, first off, is huge. And then to have someone like you start to put these changes in place with them, like they can start to see their identities come to life even more. Have you experienced that with the women that you work with?
Yes, absolutely. And I always say that I am a rebrand specialist, and the fact that you brought up that I always work with women who are growing in their businesses, right? And so this piece is really, really important. And for them to kind of realize that, okay, this is the identity that I'm stepping into, and this is the woman that I'm becoming. And I
Mhm.
really want to showcase that in a visual way, right? Like so many of the times I've had examples of clients who come to me, they're like, "I don't wanna be embarrassed sending people to my website."
Right.
So that's a big piece. Like, you wanna feel confident with your brand. You wanna feel confident sharing your offers with someone so that the end result is really for them to work with you or to buy from you. So just having that awareness of, like, the woman they are becoming, that's really important too. And yes, I always have that with my clients.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I went to a beautiful event a couple of weeks ago, and you get all these cards and postcards and all of these things, and I got this beautiful swag bag with all of these pieces, and it was just like a couple days ago that I went through the bag because it was like, there's things to do. And so I was going through the bag, and I'm looking through all of these postcards and all of the branding, and truly, like the ones that I stopped to read were so beautiful, so eye-catching, like just in alignment with, and I do have to say this, the woman that I am becoming, right? And I like it was this feeling of, ooh, this is us. Like there's an aspiration in this branding for
Mhm.
me to become, right? And so that is attractive. Like, so when your ideal clients, like I love what you're saying about this, because when your ideal clients can see themselves in even just a piece of paper, right, that they've been given a postcard or a card, that is massive. Like that will stop them in their tracks, and they'll hold on to that and they'll want to know more. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, it's so huge because for me, design is emotional connection and it's not just, there to for things to look nice or be trendy.
Right.
It needs to be there to create this emotional connection, but it's because there's psychology behind colors and shapes and text and fonts and whatnot, right? So yeah, that's a big piece of it. And another piece that I want to touch on is having something that is timeless, right? That's going to speak to people in different levels, as long as they are in this level that they are becoming, right? So that's a huge part.
So one thing that, I hear quite a bit is, and it floors me every time, that women actually or not just women, but we're predominantly women in our community. Well, we're all women, but
Yeah.
that I hear that well, you don't need a website, right? Like if you have the right Instagram stuff happening and you've got good social media and you just have a link where people can book calls with you, and to me, that's like kind of saying I have a store, but I'm going to stand outside of the store. I'm not going to let you in the store, but I'm going to tell you what I have inside the store. Like that's kind of how that feels to me. Talk to me about websites and why they're so important, Sadaf.
Yeah, I love that you bring it up because I have heard that a lot. And if you're in the beginning phase of your business, it's okay to kind of start small and then take things up as you go. But if you are becoming more established and growing, I believe it's really necessary to have a website because, like I said, it's really the end result. It's really where your visitors become buyers and they buy your offers, right?
Mhm.
Even having a simple landing page is going to help a lot too. Like you don't have to always make it really complicated. As long as you have the systems in place to really guide your audience. So I want to kind of talk about this in a way that your ideal clients, they are the hero, right? And then you have to be the guide through your website. Um, so that's kind of how I see it. So you're really guiding them with their buying decisions and from becoming a visitor to then becoming a buyer.
Mm,
So yeah, it's really important. It's as though like if you're not having a website, it's like you are walking on a treadmill and sweating and doing all the hard work, but your treadmill is not plugged in. And when you have that website, it's like it's really helping with the flow of things and it's creating momentum.
yes, yes, that's so, so key. I love that you bring that up, because we need a home, right? We need a landing spot for people to go to. So, Sadaf, what would you say? Like, what are some of the first places that women can start with their branding? Like, obviously, booking a call with you and a consultation is a good idea.
Yeah. The first thing that comes to my mind is really noticing the small things that we talked about. Like, let's say your messaging isn't clear enough and isn't attracting the type of ideal clients that you want to, or you have really outgrown your visuals and it doesn't align with the person that you're becoming.
Um,
So that's a good starting point. And then your website being outdated, like you have not updated it, you have not changed it in so many years, and it has kind of outgrown your business and your brand. So that's a good starting point. And I always start with doing a website audit on a smaller scale and then moving up to having an experience. It's a full immersive experience that we have inside Share Designs. Yeah, but there are different touch points definitely based on where women are in their businesses.
Right. That's so important because not everybody's going to start at the same place. Not everybody's going to be at the same place. A lot of women, have been in their businesses for years, and this is just such an important. It's like doing spring cleaning and cleaning up the house and adding some extra throw pillows and just making sure that it is where you want it to be in this moment. And I think that is so, so important. And like you said, we're either attracting the right clients or we're not. And, just in terms of statistics, what would you say is the amount of time that people spend like on your website and decide yes or no that they want to keep looking?
So I want to say when it comes to clarity, in the first 3 to 5 seconds, people decide whether they want to stay on your website or not.
Wow, three to
And
five
the most
seconds.
important thing with that is the header section. So having clarity in the header section, and when we think about clarity, like the word clarity is being thrown around a lot on the in the online world, but when it comes to website, it's really making your messaging as simple as you can. And when it comes to your visuals, making the flow as easy as you can. Like I said, your customer needs to be the hero, and you're acting as a guide and your website is acting as a GPS to really help them to go from point A to point B. So keeping it simple. Like I always say that clear is so much better than clever. So keeping it as simple as you can while adding visual interest and personality, of course, but don't make it complicated.
Yeah. And you can see how, like, within 3 to 5 seconds, we can all see as business owners how we may be leaving money on the table. So I think that even just an audit, like, because Sadaf, you may look at a website and be like, friend, your website's perfect. You don't need me, right? And then you may look at a website where you're like, okay, you're definitely 1000% leaving money on the table. Here's how we can
Mhm.
find more of it for you.
Yeah, and then with the website audit, I kind of give them like the next steps that they can implement this themselves, or if they want to take it a step further, obviously, it's going to be working with me. And I always have personalized approach to my clients on where they're at in their businesses. If they want just a simple brand refresh, I offer that as well. Or if they want to go all in and do a full on rebrand with photo shoots, we can do that as well.
Yes, yes, yes. I've seen these beautiful packages that you offer, with, women just sort of stepping into their highest level and having, beautiful outfits on in a beautiful location and doing a really gorgeous photo shoot. And that is such a big piece of it, right? It's kind of hard to do a rebrand on a website with old photos, right? So having that be a piece of it is so key. And I love that you offer that as like, would you say that that's your most elevated way of doing things, Sadaf, with people?
Yeah, so this is our signature offer, and it was really created out of demand because all of my clients they wanted to have this cohesive look for their rebrand, and with that comes brand photos and content as well. So
Mhm.
I kind of put all of them together, and it's an experience for women who want a full immersive experience when it comes to the rebrand. So we're going to be taking care of their brand identity, creative direction, brand photos, content, and website all together. And
Mm.
like I said, the beautiful places. So we take care of the studio booking as well, as long as we are on the same page with where it's happening.
Yes, I love that. I love that. So we can see how growth plays such a huge role in this. And you're so right, Sadaf. Like if things have been the same for years, but we have grown, it's time to catch up, right? And it's time to um do some renovations in our house, right? In our business house. And I think that this is the perfect way to go about that and start showing up with more confidence, with more authority, more visibility online. Sadaf, is there anything that you want to let us know in terms of, okay, so I'm just learning about this. I'm finding that I have grown. I'm finding that my branding is kind of stale. What's the next step that I should take, Sadaf?
Yeah, in terms of what the next step is, I always do after like they know that where they're at in their business, it's either filling out a form or booking a discovery call. I do prefer booking a discovery call because it really shows what exactly they're looking for, so I can get a better idea, and then we move forward from there.
Beautiful. I love that. Thank you so much for that. Is there any final words that you want to share, Sadaf, just about um, yeah, like encouraging women to really look at this for themselves and make a decision that's going to elevate their lives and their businesses?
Yeah, so I really suggest for all the women who are listening to take a deeper look into their visuals and their brand and their website and see how the whole journey is going, first of all. And then the next step is their brand really attracting their dreamy ideal clients? And if not, I would love for them to take this as an invitation to evolve, right?
Mm,
Not a problem to fix, obviously, but really as an opportunity to evolve and make everything aligned in their business.
right. Yes. I love that. I love that. Take this as an opportunity. And, I am one to always encourage a stretch for women in business. I think that it is essential that we take steps every single day, whether they're big steps or small steps, but they must feel like a stretch. And that feeling in your muscle when you stretch it, just at first, it feels a little bit uncomfortable. And then you breathe into it and then it starts to loosen up. And then you're left with like a longer, more like leaner muscle, right? And I love to use that analogy in this sense because stretching yourself is going to only benefit you in places like this, right? So whether it's a stretch for you financially as an investment, or whether it is a stretch for you to be seen, be visible. I know a lot of women struggle with that too. This is like these types of stretches are what is going to grow you. It's when we don't stretch and we stay complacent that we don't stretch, like that we don't grow, right?
Yeah, and it's all about getting comfortable being uncomfortable.
Hmm.
And I'm working with a client right now that she shared her vision for a new photo shoot, and it was really like artistic and editorial and masculine. And she is asking me, like, is this too much? And I was like, no, this is the next level identity that you want to step into. Like, be ready to be bold. No, it's not too much.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, Sadaf, for this. You've already talked about your signature program. Is that the piece that you wanted to share today on inviting people to take a look, a deeper look at what you do?
Yeah, so this is more on a full immersive experience, but if they are needing just a rebrand or a brand refresh, I would definitely love to help them with that too. As I said during our discovery call, we really dig deep into what exactly they're looking for, and I give them a personalized approach, whether it's just doing a website audit, a website refresh, or a full rebrand, or if they really want to take everything to the next level and bring everything in alignment, it would be the elevated brand experience.
Beautiful. I love it. Love it. Love it. So for those of you listening or watching, if this sounds like you, if you're someone that has some stale branding going on, or you're just getting into your business and you want to do it right from the get-go, like sometimes a DIY is okay, but a little bit of help from an experienced professional is massive. And you can see the difference when this happens. So definitely take a look at everything that Sadaf has to offer. You can find the links to Sadaf, her Instagram, her website in our show notes, and all of the pieces there that are going to lead you to potentially working with this amazing woman and even just do that audit. I feel like that is massive. So thank you so much, Sadaf. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful for your presence in my life and my business and the opportunities that it has brought me and the whole Happy Healthy Women community. Thank you.
My pleasure. And likewise, my friend, you're amazing. All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.
Thank you.